There's a convention in ASP.NET Core MVC that allows you to create a CSHTML file that will render before all of your views are rendered. And typically you want to use this _ViewStart file to associate the main layout for all of your CSHTML pages. So what will happen is that when you create this ViewStart file and then associate the layout, this will render first before all of your subsequent views will render. And the reason we want to do this is that we don't have to sit here in every individual page and associate a hard-coded layout page. You can create the layouts as you please to associate with different pages. It allows an economy of code to just associate one ViewStart and then associate the layout that you want for all of your CSHTML pages, and then from there change out the ones you want specifically. So let's go ahead and create an _ViewStart page. So let's go in here to our views folder and let's click Add, New Item, and let's create an MVC ViewStart page right here. And as you can see in the ViewStart page, it gives a default path to associate with the layout. We want to come into our index.cshtml page and we just want to copy this and remove it from our view. So now what we can do, we can come in here. We are associating the main layout for all of our CSHTML pages. It's going to look at this view shared _layout.cshtml. And by default, all of them are going to inherit from the _layout.cshtml page. Remember that the ViewStart page is not directly implemented inside of our pages. It's just a convention in MVC. When your application is actually rendered and built, it will look into the viewstart.cshtml file and determine what layout is going to be rendered associated with our code inside of the viewstart.cshtml page. Now you can individually go into these home folders and create your own ViewStarts, and it will only be implemented as we have in this home folder. But in this case, we want to associate this as the view. So if we come in here and let's go to our index.cshtml and see if it still renders correctly. And as you can see, we're still inheriting from the layout page right there. So that's what's being associated inside of this. Then what we can do, we can actually say that we don't want to associate this layout to that view. We can create a null view. So we can say layout equals null. So this is how we can overwrite this. And then we'll put that right there. So if we wanted to overwrite the layout that's associated in the ViewStart page, we can get rid of it. So then we can come back into our page here, refresh it, and see what's being implemented now. The only thing that's being implemented is the my value to associate right here. Because notice as this @section header is being associated with the layout page now, we're not getting that inside of our page itself, because we've associated a null layout and now it's not inheriting all of the functionality associated with our layout page. So this creates a very simplistic way for economy of code to associate the layouts you want. Let's get rid of that right there. Let's refresh this page. And as you can see now, we're inheriting back from the layout page. Typically what I'll like to do, and I'll show you in future lectures, I'll create multiple layouts. One main layout for all of the pages I want by default, and then I'll swap out a different layout to associate when we're logged in or for a different page that we want to have inside of our application. So this is the ViewStart file that we can associate in our ASP.NET Core application. Remember that your application is going to look at this first, and by default we're associating a layout for all of our views inside of our ASP.NET Core application.